Hello everybody and welcome to Jerusalem once again, the City of David. It's amazing to have you back with us. My name is Doron Spillman. I'm the Director of Global Communications in the City of David, and I want to introduce you to my dear friend and partner, Oria Dasberg. Hello Oria.
Doron, how are you?
Great to see you again.
How are you doing?
I'm excellent. We're back by popular demand.
Absolutely. I was so thrilled last time. We had so many people watching us. It was hundreds or thousands.
Hundreds and thousands of people were watching.
And it was so nice. Everyone was writing to us. Please send us more information. We got so many emails. So this time, really, if you feel like joining us again, and if you want to be the first one to know, just leave us your email. We will be in touch all the time, not just Corona time. And you know now, last time we met, we did the first part of the Pilgrimage Road, and it was quiet. There was no one here because of the Corona. And it's very optimistic to meet again once we see that more people are starting to come out. Right. And I hope that in just a few weeks, we're going to have the City of David with thousands of people again. Right. And you too, join us.
Come
Today,
and join us.
We're going to do another part.
Absolutely.
Tell them what we're going to do.
Today you're going to join us as Ori and I take you through the Pilgrimage Road down to where we go underneath the ground, through the ancient aqueduct, which went beneath the road, all the way to the foundation stones of the Temple Mount. One of the most exciting places, probably in the world.
Definitely in the world. Definitely in the world. You know, last time we discussed the fact that the City of David is the place where Jerusalem was born.
Yes.
We spoke about the water, the significance of the water, and today we're going to see where this road that we spoke about last time, that thousands of people used to walk on it, where does it end?
Absolutely.
And it's really exciting that we speak about it near Shavuot.
That's right. Now, before we take our visitors to a surprising parking lot, I think it's actually an opportunity to turn around and show them that right over here is actually the Temple Mount, meaning we're only a few feet from the Temple Mount, Oria.
Yes.
And we're actually going to be meeting very close to the Temple Mount, but underneath the ground and that dark and mysterious place that we discovered.
And you know, every good story starts at a parking lot.
That's true.
So we're going to start our story in a parking lot, and but it's not just the usual parking lot.
It's not just the usual parking lot. I remember here, Oria, in 2002, when a group of Russian scientists came to us and they said, clear off our cars, we're going to do an MRI of the parking lot. And we thought it was crazy, but you know, so
let's see what they found.
Let's see what they found. This used to be our parking lot. Come on in.
Isn't this a wow? Really? Isn't this a wow? Look at this, Doron.
It's incredible.
A parking lot. This used to be a parking lot. And look what we found here. Isn't it amazing?
It's incredible. I mean, I remember parking our car here. And when you got out of your car, little did we realize that as we got out of our car, if you went down 50 or 60 feet, you had 11 different civilizations going all the way back to the ancient biblical period, the time period of King David. And as we know, Oria, we've had some real surprises in this parking lot.
Yes, let's walk a little bit around it and come with us so you can see different angles of this place.
Did you bring your water? It's a hot day.
I did, and I forgot them.
I'm not allowed to share.
You're not allowed to share.
Not allowed to
share. I will be
well.
okay. We're going underneath soon, so it's going to be cool and dry and nice.
So just as we reach over here, we can see in the distance that there are 3 rooms. And I remember we got an email a number of years ago from a young woman from London. She said, I want to volunteer in the excavations. Her name was Nadine. And we sent her email to the Israel Antiquities Authority and they employed her. And a month after Nadine came to the job, now we have to understand, most people when they come to an excavation, they don't realize how dirty and sweaty and how difficult the work is. Nadine, she was working at a large automotive manufacturer in planning, but she got used to it and she had a lot of friends. And by this point, her fingernails were dirty and she had dug in. And one day she was over here and a group of workers heard Nadine scream. And they thought maybe she was bit by a scorpion. And so they sent first aid, but no, Nadine is sitting in the ground and they walk up to her and in the dirt that was right in front of her, she's pointing and she found this young woman from England, found one of the most miraculous discoveries ever made in Jerusalem, which are these gold coins.
Treasure. It's a real treasure.
It's a real treasure.
I can only imagine what she felt when she found it, and I can only imagine what you felt when you got the message.
It's true.
That this is something, again, it's not fair that I wasn't here. You were here, I wasn't here, and I can only imagine what people felt and when they saw this. It's unbelievable.
It was amazing. What would you do if you had 264 gold coins, Oria?
Oh, we don't have enough time for me to speak about it.
Watch out, Manhattan. We spoke
Absolutely,
about that last time.
Absolutely. But well, let's start with opening the shops again, all around the world. But
First
yes.
step. Okay, so let's continue. As we walk around this, this incredible excavation where we have all these layers. We've got the Roman layer, and we have the Second Temple layer, and we've got the First Temple layer, and 11 different civilizations. Every day we have new things that have come out of here.
And you spoke about Nadine, who was volunteering here. Every year we get many volunteers coming to work here because they want to feel part of what we're doing. It's a very tough work, like you said. So why would people volunteer, come to work in the sun, in the rain?
It's so hot.
They want to feel part of this story. We don't pay too good, really. This is not the issue. They want to feel part of Jerusalem. They want to feel part of revealing the history of Jerusalem. They want to connect to their own dynasty, to something inside. And once they touch the ground, they touch the stones, they reveal themselves through revealing Jerusalem. And we hear again and again the stories. And Nadine, who was so excited, this is going with her for the rest of her life, her children and her grandchildren.
It's incredible, Oria.
It's unbelievable. And there was another thing we found here.
Yes, there was.
Which is making me very jealous.
Very, very jealous.
Very jealous. Because there used to be a queen here.
That's right.
So tell our friends.
Well, we know that there was a queen. Her name was Queen Helena of Adiabin. She's a queen in Iraq, and she falls in love with the Jewish people, and mostly she fell in love with the idea that there was one God. So that made a lot of sense to her. So she decides to convert. I believe in one God. Now, most of the world believes in one God today, but back then it was pretty uncommon. And she converts, and her entire kingdom converts. And Queen Helena, who was from Adiabin in Iraq, she moves to Jerusalem, and she builds a palace in the city of David. And while we were excavating the palace, we uncovered this gorgeous earring with freshwater pearls and emeralds and true gold. And this earring is a symbol not only of wealth, it's the symbol of what a person can do with their wealth. Because Queen Helena transformed the Jewish empire with her kindness and with her donations. And she really, while the Romans were oppressing the Jews, Queen Helena used her money to buy food to help the Jews during the Roman oppression. Yeah. And so she is written about by the sages really as one of the greatest, really one of the most important people ever in the history of the Second Temple period in Jerusalem. Oria, I'm looking at this excavation, and what I often hear from people is, okay, there's 4 billion people connected to Jerusalem. There's 11 layers here. How are they ever going to experience this, Oria? I mean, that's what you bring to the table here. What's your vision for this place?
Well, I must say that once we found all these excavations, we understood that this is huge what we have here. And I want people from all over the world to feel what we feel now. I'm trying to say to them, to our friends, I'm trying to tell you, my friends, what we feel. You have to come here to understand. What we're going to build here is a house that will make people connect to what we find here. People will come here, hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world. And they will go through the archaeology, which is something very unique. There are places in the world where you can see archaeology. Mm-hmm. In here, they're going to go through the archaeology. They're going to touch, they're going to feel, and they're going to be part of the excavation. Every person who comes to visit this place, it's going to be called Kedem. Every person who will come here can take part of the excavation himself and find treasures and find earrings. And this is what I want this place to be.
So they'll be part of that adventure.
Exactly.
They'll put on a hat, they'll be the Indiana Jones or whatever we want to call it, and they will actually be part of the process of the revealing.
Exactly. And this is something very unique. And as we spoke before about the volunteers, this is what people want to feel. Amazing. Once they touch, they get connected. And Yael is now joining us, and she's bringing me the earrings that you found.
What?
Yes.
Oria, how'd you manage to do that quickly? Well, you already took those 200, there were 264 gold coins. Everyone always says maybe there were 265 and one went missing.
So, you know, we have a shop in the city of David, and we make jewelries that are the same as the ones that were found here. And can I feel like a queen for one day, Doron? Will you let me?
We feel like you're a queen every day, Oria.
I would really like to feel a queen.
Absolutely.
Can I put them on
Please,
just
I
for
think it's
today?
appropriate.
Yes, I would love to put them on. And
I will say that.
What do you think?
It's
Do I look like a queen?
Beautiful, beautiful. And I will say, if you remember, we did have a former president who his wife got these as a gift, and we have pictures, and she wore them. So
Yes.
there you go.
So I feel a queen.
You are queen.
So let's continue our journey as a
Absolutely.
queen, and you will be my lord.
I'll be your servant.
You will be my lord.
I'll be your servant. By the way, Oriat, you know, as we continue moving forward, there's something here incredible that I want our dear friends to see. Now,
And you know, this is really, we speak about the queen, we speak about jewelries, we speak about treasures, but when we want to feel really connected and really understand what's going on here, this is the thing.
This is the thing. You
This
and I
is the
both
thing.
remember, because it only happened a few months
Yes.
ago, that one of the archaeologists here in the parking lot found this clay seal about the size of my fingernail, and they looked with a magnifying glass, and it has a name, and the name is Natan Melech.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Servant of the king. Now, what's even more unbelievable is you open up the Bible.
Yes.
Second book of Kings, chapter 22, 23, and you see King Josiah, who's King David's great-great-great-great-grandson, a righteous king in the Bible, written in the Bible, and his servant is Natan Melech. It's just incredible because we have Shavuot in a few days. We're going to be reliving Ruth, who was King David's grandmother, great-grandmother, and the Davidic dynasty and the idea of bringing the first fruits up to the temple. And here we find the actual evidence of King David's lineage, the actual dynasty in the parking lot.
Yes, and I was with you when we heard about it, and it was really, really exciting, because everything else is telling us a story was going on here. When we find a bullet saying the name written in the Bible, it's us.
Incredible.
It's ours.
It's ours.
We're connected. It's part of me. It really is part of me. Now, just before we go down,
Yes.
I want to remind our friends
Yeah.
the route that we're going to take. So last time, Doron, if you remember, and if you remember our friends, we started here in the pool of Siloam. We spoke about the water, about the idea of Jerusalem was born here with the water. And we started walking up the pilgrimage road, and we finished about here. And we discussed the fact that our employees are working to discover all this road. Today, we're going to the upper part, the northern part of the road. We will go down, you will explain a few more things, and we will go out just beneath the Temple Mount. And this is really, if we were excited here, I'm sure, my friends, you're going to be extremely excited, and I hope you will see how excited I am once we get down here. Yes.
Underneath the wall, by the way.
Underneath the
We're
wall.
going underneath that old city wall, right, Oria?
Yes,
Deep beneath the
underneath, and we will stop and we will show them the place, and we will start.
ground. All right,
Let's
do
go
it.
down.
Watch your step here. So here we go. We're heading down. We're going to be descending around 40 feet from ground level today. What's fascinating is if we look around us, there's pottery shards everywhere we look, because we're descending back in time. I can see pottery on both sides of me.
Doron, will you be so nice and you will lead the way? It's okay
Sure,
with you?
as your loyal servant, I will definitely
Excellent. So please.
head out this way. Okay.
It's so cool and nice here. I
Yes.
love this route.
Mother Nature's air conditioning being deep underneath
Yes.
the ground.
And just thinking that we're going all the way up now to the Temple Mount.
Absolutely. Watch your head on this door here, and here we are walking through a channel that is so amazing, Uriah, because it was built by King Herod, and as we know, if we head in that direction, we would be back at the Siloam pool where we
Yes.
began, last time?
Last time, yeah.
And you and I are winding through this pilgrimage channel, and above us in a minute, we're going to see remains of the actual road. You can see we have construction here, which is holding up pretty much the city of Jerusalem, which you're also in charge of, Oria.
In charge of what? What did you
The
say?
construction that's holding up the city of Jerusalem.
Yes, yes, and it's really, again, it's exciting, I must say.
So, Uriah, what we want to show people now is this picture, which is, again, this is the pilgrimage road which you and I were walking on last time. And of course, this is the road that the Jews celebrated on as they went up to the Temple Mount. We're going to be back on this road in a few minutes, but what we're doing now is we're going underneath the road. You and I are going through the drainage channel or the aqueduct where the water flowed. It was fresh water, rainwater. We're going to climb underneath this, and then we're going to come out in the old city and come back on the road.
And Doron, you were one of the members of the first team that was here, right?
This is true. I was a member of the first team that came through here. I got a call at around 4 in the morning, and when I got that call, I was told, listen, go put on some clothes you don't care about.
4 o'clock in the morning?
4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you were so excited you couldn't wait till the morning?
We couldn't wait till the morning, and in a minute I'll explain why. And our excavation team that was working the night shift, at the time, one of those members actually is the one that was the first one to realize something strange was happening. Here we go, by the way, now. I'm lifting up the camera. This is actually the bottom stones of the pilgrimage road. It's over our heads, and you and I are walking in the water channel below it.
I hope our viewers understand. We walked last time on the road. Now we're walking underneath the road in the tunnel. It's all connected. It's all part of the same area. And Doron, you're so tall, so you have to.
This is true. This tunnel wasn't made for somebody my size.
People were not supposed to walk here, you know?
Absolutely.
It was for water.
Now, Oriel, wait there 1 second. I want to show our viewers something just absolutely amazing that I want you to do. Because now they see you. And what are you doing now, Oriel? Tell us where you're walking.
Listen, you remember when we started, we said that we're going to go underneath the walls of the ancient city, of the Ha'ir Ha'atika, the
old city walls.
The old city wall. It's here. Now I'm crossing underneath the ancient city wall. It's just above us. So we have Jerusalem of up there, and we have Jerusalem of down. Yerushalayim shel Mala, Yerushalayim shel Mata.
That's right, the upper and lower cities.
And we are getting to be privileged to walk
Absolutely.
up and down.
It's
Amazing.
incredible. And you know, Oriel, the people who used to walk down here were mostly people that were from the city that were trying to repair the water system, or people that in times of war were fighting for their lives. And as you and I both know, and our viewers will now tell them, 2,000 people, the last 2,000 people to survive during the destruction of the Second Temple.
It was here.
It was here.
It was just here.
When we crawled through here, we found the pots remaining with the remains of food inside them. And if you look in Josephus Flavius, he explains that those last 2,000 people were caught. Many of them were killed, men and women and children, inside this tunnel.
Yes. And we found the sword.
And we found the sword, exactly.
Yeah.
We found the sword right here. And so there was a lot of tragedy that happened here, but there was also a lot of incredible news. It was actually right here, Oriah, where when we got a call that morning, I just want to show the opening to our viewers right here. If you can see right up here, there's actually a turn in the tunnel. And if you look at the turn, we got a call 4 in the morning. There was a worker who was working here with his pick, and he put his pick to excavate at around 3 in the morning, and his pick went into open air. His pick went into open air, Oriah, and when that happened, it was absolutely incredible, because he said, how can it go into open air? That only happens in movies. But he cleared out a little bit. He climbed in around 3 meters, and he climbed back out, and we got the call.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, and 6 of us climbed
jealous.
down here.
Once again.
There'll be plenty more. Now you run everything, so it's okay. We're just the moles that go underneath the ground.
No. You were really privileged, Doron.
It was, at the time I was scared, I'll be honest, because we had to crawl on our stomachs, and we were kind of leg to head, just crawling, and we made a deal saying it was too narrow to turn around. We said, we'll crawl until we can't crawl, and then we'll crawl backwards if we couldn't get out. But as luck would have it, we were able to turn around and even more than that, find something very special.
Let's see where it goes all the way up.
Okay, let's run all the way up underneath the ancient matrix of the old city. What's incredible is this was the main drainage channel. So you can imagine we're climbing underneath ancient Jerusalem right now. There is the old city above us. The Temple Mount is what we're nearing in just a few seconds. And you have waterways going to the right and left that have not even yet been discovered. You have to imagine there was a city here of, close to over 100,000 people at the time. Those people, they were all being fed by this water. And so if you follow this channel, it goes all the way, branches off to other channels, which if you have a team, a lot of time, you could just go underneath the ground and you could really explore and uncover the ancient city of Jerusalem. How you doing there, Oria?
Great. So cool.
It's so cool. Our friends here, they don't get the aerobic workout, but you're all going to join us. And when you do, you're going to say this is the best aerobic ancient adventure you've ever had. Look at this. An example right next to me of an opening blocked by a stone. Who will be the first to remove that stone? Who will be the first to explore where that goes? They're on each side of me. As we go back and forth, each side of me. And now, we're actually going to make a turn, which is what we did. And in this area that just took us 3 or 4 minutes, when we climbed through here, all those years ago, it took us about an hour to reach this location.
Crawling.
Crawling.
Amazing.
If we look up, there's a dome. There's a dome ceiling right above us. And we realize if we look at you, Orion, behind you, the dome actually curves. So we said to ourselves, why is it curving? What's here? What's behind this wall right over here? And the archaeologist, Eli Shukron, he said, I know what's behind this wall.
What did you find?
He said, the Temple Mount
Wow.
is right behind this wall. And we're now skirting underneath the Temple Mount.
It's this.
It's this.
It's this.
It's
It really
incredible.
is this. And this is the second in the route that we're taking, that we stop for a second. This is the time when we stop for a second and we understand that we're going into something which is much bigger than us, which is so strong. And I always stop here when I come with a group and I tell them, okay, now we laughed, we sang, we spoke, let's be quiet for a second and connect to the minute, connect to the stone and connect to ourselves.
Wow.
This is the place.
Beautiful area. So as we crawled through here on that first expedition, we were 6 people, led by Israel Antiquities archaeologist Eli Shukron. Here I had to be pulled into this room. And I don't know if our viewers can actually see, but there is water down there.
Yes.
There's a lot of water. And you and I right now are in a cistern, surrounded by a cistern, all the way around. And when we reached this place, Oriel, it was at this point around 6:30, maybe 7 in the morning. And I remember we looked up and we were very excited. If our viewers look up, do you see that light at the end of the tunnel up there? That was the first light that we saw. And we were down here, we were clapping hands, and we were so excited. And Eli Shukron said, shh. And we heard voices. You know the story.
I know the stories that you heard. It wasn't just voices. You somehow heard English-speaking
We heard
people,
English. That's right.
which is unbelievable because it really connects us to what happened here just how many years before you were here?
Yeah, not many.
Not many.
Not many.
And we spoke about it before with our viewers about another queen.
That's right. Another queen. who was
Another
here.
queen.
That's exactly right.
This is why I love where I work. So tell them.
The
go
other
on.
queen had your accent, not mine, but the other
She was
queen was Queen
British.
Victoria, the Queen of England. And Queen Victoria was looking for treasure. And in 1867, Queen Victoria, she sends a mission led by Captain Charles Warren. And she basically wanted him to find treasure. And Captain Charles Warren is looking, he's looking everywhere. And as we walked in this direction, we saw something that was absolutely unreal, which is this stone right above us. This stone right here, they say it weighs 5 metric tons. And Eli Shukron looked at that and he said, I've seen this stone before. Now we're all laughing. Ellie, no one has seen that stone before because no one's been here in 2,000 years. However, Ria, I think you have something to show us.
Yes.
Ellie was right.
This picture is really, it's like Photoshop. This is what I felt when I first saw it. How can it be that Charles Warren is telling us about this stone, and Eli Shukron, Dr. Eli Shukron, who learned so much about this place, he realized that he's seen this stone before. And it's this one here. It's again the same one. So the stone of Charles Warren, the stone that was found with you and Eli Shukron and the first team that was here a few years later, 100 years later, or whatever. And what is this stone?
This stone
has a story.
It has a story. And David Leberi, the founder of the city of David, who was also there, and Ali Aloni, they both said, wait, this stone, which is, of course, this stone is a stone of the Temple Mount itself. It must have fallen off the Temple Mount, we don't know why, and it ended up falling and getting wedged down.
It fell down in the destruction.
Right, exactly.
It fell down in the destruction. So see how many stories we tell once we walk this route. We speak about the beginning of Jerusalem. We speak about 11 layers of excavation. We speak about the last people, the last 2,000 people who were here, walking here, hiding here. And now we spoke about Queen Victoria. And now we speak about the temple destruction. And we see the stones that fell off from the wall of during the destruction.
It's incredible. It's actually
and it's
like reading a book.
Yes, and it's only like 20, 30 minutes walk. That's it.
Incredible. This definitely, when you say it was, for me, definitely, with the exception of getting married and having children, this was the most exciting moment of my life. And, and to encapsulate the moment is actually, you're standing here in the tunnel when we actually made this turn. And here, Ori, I'd actually appreciate it if you would have the honor.
I would love
Queens
to.
first.
Thank you so much.
And you're going to show our viewers something incredible that we did not know we were going to find here. This is really, really amazing. Wait till you see this. Oria, what is that in front of you?
Doron, I think our viewers will know themselves, even if I don't speak. If I said before that, let's be quiet, because it's the first time when we get to the stone of the Temple Mount. This wall, everyone knows it. They just know it from a different angle. They know it from up there. This is the Kotel. This is the Western Wall, but it's underneath the ground. Usually we walk up there, and we will go out soon, and we will walk above it. But when you came here, you first discovered the wall of the Kotel, of the Western Wall. You discovered it underneath the ground.
We did, and we didn't even know. We actually argued.
You didn't think
we argued. I didn't
that?
think that this, I couldn't believe this was the Western Wall. And David, the founder of the project, said, this, I'm telling you it's the Western Wall. I said, how could it be? Now, I have a question, Oria. I moved here from the States. I also did the Army, but I wasn't born Israeli. You're a leader of this project. You're an incredible woman. You served in the Israeli Army. You fought and you risked your life for the state of Israel. As an Israeli, what is it like for you to be in this Western Wall, our own private Western Wall?
Well, I must say that at least once, twice, 3 times a year, I go to the Western Wall with my family, okay? To the Western Wall that all of us know. But standing here underneath, it's kind of a small kotel, which is just mine, and it's for me and the group that is coming here. No one else is interrupting us. It's not with all the people standing there, walking there, praying there. This is like a small private kotel, just for us. And for me, I must say that sometimes I come here when everything is really quiet, no one knows. I come here for a minute of myself again to connect to the place where everything has begun, and where is my connection to God, where is my connection to the Bible, where my connection to Jerusalem. And as I said before, Doron, I think we are the most privileged people in the world, working here every day in the city of David. And what we are doing today is trying to give our viewers to share this excitement that we have.
Absolutely.
So this is
and
my...
we want them to join us.
Yes.
We want to share with you that excitement. We just want to show you one more thing, that these again are the stones of the Western Wall, and this now is the bedrock of Mount Moriah. So this is the bedrock of Mount Moriah, where according to the Kabbalah, the world began on this bedrock. This is where the Western Wall meets that layer. Uriah and I are 200 feet below the top of the Temple Mount that can be seen, and around 50 feet below ground level.
We're going to show them.
We're going to show them, but before we do, Uriah, do you mind, could you find perhaps something we found in this book? It's somewhere near the beginning. Oh, there you go. You got to it pretty close at the very beginning. We found something absolutely incredible in this book, which is going to be right over here.
Oh, the bell.
The bell. The bell. So one day, again, Eli Shukron, who was working here at the Israel Antiquities Authority, archaeologist, comes and he shows us this bell. This is his hand, and the bell actually has the chime inside of it, and he realized that this is none other than the bell of who?
The high priest.
The high priest. The Kohen HaGadol, the high priest. That was his bell that somehow went through a sewage drain when he was maybe running away from the Romans, ended up on the ground where we're standing, and it's just unbelievable.
And to think that the
it's
high
here.
priest used to walk up this road to the Temple Mount in Shavuot, getting all the families, the Jewish families coming here, bringing. Let's go and see.
Let's do
outside.
it. Okay. We're going to walk up now. We're going to begin our journey, elevating up to the skyline. So we have to leave. We're walking along now a few of the upper stones of the Western Wall. Still not those that have been seen yet by the modern public, though you're invited to come. And now we're going to go up a flight of stairs. You can see underneath us is that channel. Here we go. Sunlight's again in our face.
Back to the sun.
Back to the sun. Wow. This is amazing. Every time this happens, this is so incredible. Here we are.
The same kotel we spoke about.
The same Western Wall. Here's the Western Wall. I can hear the noises.
This is what we spoke about. The Western Wall is everyone's wall, from all over the world. People come here, people celebrate Bar Mitzvah, people come to say their own prayer, people come to say thank you for what they have. What we saw today is a small part of the wall underneath the ground, which is only for the people that come to visit the city of David.
Absolutely. And here, to point out, this is now the Pilgrimage Road. The same Pilgrimage Road that you and I saw when we began our journey down at the Shiloach pool. We're back on the Pilgrimage Road. We came up underneath the ground where Ori and I just crawled. We're back up on the Pilgrimage Road. Here you can see it. And what's incredible about the Pilgrimage Road right here, we mentioned Shavuot, there's a powerful story here because we were in the destruction, climbing through the sewer. Mm-hmm. Now we're back on the top at the time of the celebration, bringing our first fruits to the temple in ancient times. And here we even have a storefront right here. This is an original storefront, just as it would have looked 2,000 years ago. You can imagine there was a table here, and there was a curtain hanging down off the table like a drape, and they were selling their wares, and they were changing money. What we're hearing now, Uriah, is singing in Jerusalem. And the prophecy in the book of Zechariah says one day the elderly and the children will come back to Jerusalem and sing and play in the streets. It's written about in the prophecy. We can hear the joy of somebody having a bar mitzvah, a bat mitzvah. Shavuot is on its way.
Yeah.
This is the prophecy where we're standing on the road.
So we're part of the prophecy.
We're part of the prophecy. The matriarchs and patriarchs who came before us, they lived for this, they died for this, and we're back here once again.
To be part of it.
To be part of it.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Uriah.